welcome to this episode of Michio Monday. Today we're going to bring on guests. This is a little new spin on the show. So here's my co-host, the beautiful and talented Katrina Michio. How are you?
I'm great. I'm really, really great. How are you?
I'm absolutely fantastic. I'm excited to start this new
I'm
show,
very
and
excited for this.
yeah, people are gonna love it.
New thing for
And
me. I usually host, not co-host, but this will be fun.
yeah, and we
Yeah.
got our first guest that we're gonna bring
Yes.
on, and we're gonna chop it up with him. I don't know. Have you ever met this guy we're gonna bring on?
I don't think so.
So today we got the accidental gangster, Mr. Ori Spado. What's up,
Good,
Ori?
good morning, Bill. Good morning, Katrina. It's a pleasure to meet you.
So nice to meet you.
You were on The Sopranos, huh?
Yeah, I was. I was one of the original Bada Bing bartenders.
Now, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
The night that they won the awards out there in California, after the awards, they went to the Peninsula Hotel.
Yes.
Were you there?
No,
Oh,
no.
you weren't there.
I
Okay.
was actually with Jim um for season, I think it was season 6. He took me to that premiere, season
Okay.
6. Yeah.
Well,
So
because the funny story is when we were sitting there and they had it roped off, and I asked the waiter, I said, "Why you got a rope off?" She said, "The Sopranos are coming here after the show." So they come in, and they're on the other side, and James Gandolfini and everybody else seen us. They all came over to our table on the other side of the rope. But it's a funny story, and and in New York, when I be with Sonny Franchese, I'll never forget. I mean, during the San Gennaro feast,
mhm.
me and Sonny be sitting down, and all the guys from the Sopranos are always around. Okay, and they all come over. They come over to meet real gangsters.
Everybody knows everybody
Yeah.
in that world.
You know who just started following me on Facebook
So
was Anthony Imperiali.
Michael Imperiali.
Michael is?
It's
Oh,
Michael.
oh, why do I call him Anthony?
I don't
Because there's a lot of them Anthony's, man.
Now you told me that she likes prison stories.
I
Yeah,
do. I'm
she's
really
intrigued by them.
interested.
Yeah,
Huh?
so
What I'm interested in the woman, in the person that you might have left behind. If did you have a wife or a girlfriend at the
No, you know who I was dating back in the day? I used to date Tina Louise.
Oh, I've met her a few
Yeah,
times.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it was not like a study thing, you know what I mean? I had no girlfriend, fortunately, because I knew the day was going to come.
You were
When they
upset.
arrested me at my apartment, and well, first of all, let me begin. In 1997, an FBI agent said to me, "I will see the day you are chained, shackled, put on Con Air, and
Mhm.
brought to Brooklyn."
Were you allowed conjugal visits?
No, they don't do that in the federal system.
No.
No,
but you
not
had
allowed.
people writing you and stuff, right, Ori?
I've had people writing me, people sending me books. I read a lot. I read over 300 books in prison.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Wow.
I
How
read a
long
lot too.
how long were you there?
I was 5 years. I got.
Wow.
I got very lucky. I ended up because they didn't want to use one informant against me on on the cocaine, so that got dismissed, and I pled guilty to a robbery and a gun charge. And I accepted 97 months. But when I went to sentencing, my judge sentenced me to 62 months. And the U.S. attorney got really upset, was yelling. And he looked at her and he said, "You charged Mr. Spado twice for the same charge. It's 62 months. I got very lucky.
Wow.
I already had 30 months in at MDC in Brooklyn. And then they transferred me to Lompoc out here in California up north, which was we flew in. I'll never forget the day. So last time I was in New York, it woke me up. It was December 16th. It was colder than hell. We got these little skinny T-shirts and garbage they give you. And they put us on the bus and we're handcuffed and chained.
Oh.
Okay? And they don't put the heat on in the bus. It's freezing like you can't believe. And then we go from Brooklyn, we go into the city to MCC, pick up more inmates, and then they drive out to Stewart Air Base near Newburgh. And that's where the planes come in, Con Air. And put you on a plane. From there to Oklahoma to Victorville.
They call it Victimville. They call it Victimville. Sorry for the feedback,
Victimville?
folks. It's terrible. Yeah, they call it Victimville.
If you want, I'll tell you, you drive by Victorville, people will get diarrhea. Okay? But anyhow,
Why?
there I am. I get up
Why?
there.
Hold on. Oh, yeah. Why, Ori?
Why
Why would they get diarrhea?
are we getting diarrhea from that?
Let me finish.
Okay.
December 17th is my birthday. And I walk off that plane. I'm in California. The sun is shining. I wanted to kiss the ground. I was back home.
Wow.
And I think I'm going to go to Lompoc. No. They put us on a bus. They put me in freaking Victorville for over 2 months. And we were locked up 23 hours a day there.
But so why is it called Victimville too?
Huh?
Why does it have the name Victimville? What's with the diarrhea and all that?
That's the city. It's Victorville, California.
Okay, but it's
a
also
city.
called
It's a city
Victimville.
It's a city in the desert.
They call it Victimville because a lot of people go there and they become victims to the other inmates.
City. No, it's a city.
I'm talking prison. I'm talking about prison.
It had a
Victorville. It's called Victorville.
I'm talking about the prison, Ori. They call it Victimville. In the Department of Corrections, people call it Victimville because if you go there, you're gonna be victimized if you're a weak person.
Yeah.
Yes, that's why they call it Victimville.
Okay.
Victimville.
You're saying victim. You talk funny, Bill, sometimes.
You do too, Ori. So now you said you got letters. Did you get any visits once you were on the West Coast?
When I thought I was going to be put in Terminal Island. I had everything set up that I would have people visiting me. I would have been able to conduct my entertainment business. I mean, I would have been able to do things. And instead, they sent me to freaking Lompoc, way the freak up north. And I didn't like Lompoc.
What, Northern California?
Northern California.
Okay.
It's up way past Santa Barbara, Lompoc.
Did they make you sleep on the top bunk, Ori?
No, never. I always had a bottom bunk.
You had a bottom bunk pass?
Yeah. Always bottom bunk.
How do you get the pass? How do you get a pass for that?
I got it because of my age.
Yeah, you have to be older, or you have to have some type of physical disability.
Well, one thing, guys like me who never read it and were in La Costa Nostra, we were well respected in prison by everybody, by the blacks, by the Spanish, Mexicans, all of them. Okay, we were well respected. stay to yourself, but you're cool. You know what I mean? It's like there's a lot more segregation in prison than there is on the outside world. The blacks stick to themselves. The whites got a shot collar. The Mexicans got a shot collar. The blacks got a shot collar. Okay, they're the ones that handle problems. Okay.
Did you have any problems in there, Ori? Did you have any beef where people wanted to fight you or anything like that?
And let me tell you the story in Lampo, okay? When they brought us up on the bus and they took us out, there were like 15 of us. And you got to go through a little area and the guards are on one side. You're just entering the prison. I'm the last one in the line. And every inmate is required to give their name and inmate number. When it comes to me, the guards tell everybody. See that gentleman in the back? That's Ori Spado. He's the mob boss of Hollywood from the Colombo crime family in New York. And I'm there, I'm going, what the fuck? So I was known who I was the moment I walked into prison. All right, so you fill out these papers. And one of the questions, are you a member of La Cosa Nostra, any gangs or anything? And I mark it, no. And then I fill out the paper, they put you back in the cell. And this little guard comes to me, never forget. Hey, Spado, come here. I said, what's wrong, sir? He says, you answered a question wrong. I said, no, I answered them all right. And there were other guys around. He said, come with me. He takes me in an office. He said, you answered this question wrong. I said, what question is that? He says, this one. You're a member of La Cosa Nostra. You're in the mafia. I said, what the fuck are you talking about? I said, there's no La Cosa Nostra. There's no mafia. I said, I don't know nothing about that shit. I said, that's stuff made up by guys like you and the Department of Justice. I said, no, that answer is no. And that's how I left it. There was one black guy one time, because, I didn't have to work either. I didn't have to take a job. Okay. One black guy, and he bunked with a biker who was a friend of mine from the Pagans. And my biker guy heard him over talking to another black guy saying, we should do to Spado what they did to John Gotti. So I heard about it. And then, one night I had a little shank, made out of a pen. And while he was sleeping, I went up and I put it as over here. I woke him up. I said, you fuck with me. I said, I will kill you. And we never had a problem after that. And then they did have one other problem with a bunkie. I handled it myself. And after I handled it, he ran to his shot caller, who went to my shot caller. My shot caller called Spado. You're supposed to come to me with a problem. This could have gotten big. He says, you're with the white. I said, no, hold up. I said, I'm not with the whites. I'm Italian. I handle my own problem. And that was it. It wasn't bad. It was easy time. You know what I mean? I seen people get their ears knocked off. You never put a Nortangle. Okay, a Nortangle is the Mexican mafia. Nortangles are from Fresno North. The Southsiders, okay, which is the Mexicans also, are from Fresno, Southern California. And their prisons, you're never supposed to put them together. They don't get along, okay? And they put a Nortangle into the prison one time. The warden really messed up there. And the war broke out. You should have seen it. It was, they came out after the doors opened for dinner. They came out. They had their lockers. I saw one guy with a locker in his sock and just knocked a guy's ear right off.
With a lock? What do
You take the lockers you put on your locker. You put that in a sock, and it becomes a weapon.
That's what they
So
use
you
in
got to be
prison.
very creative in how to make weapons in prison. You always got to have a weapon around somehow.
When you walk in there, they give you a little pencil, right? Little tiny pencil, like, and usually I'm going to use that. It's the only thing you have until you find something
Right.
in order to use.
Mm. Wow.
You know, one thing that really was good, and I noticed Pringles has changed the tops. Pringles, when you used to open Pringles, it was a little aluminum. You open it
Ring.
up, you were able to sharpen them. We used them to chop our onions and stuff that we bought from the mess hall. Okay, and you can make weapons out of them. Okay,
With
and
a
now
piece of aluminum.
yeah,
Wow.
and I noticed now I bought some Pringles the other day. It's a paper top. And I'm thinking to myself, I said, I wonder if they changed that because we used them in prison. You know?
Because Katrina, they have a commissary sheet where you can buy certain items off it, and they have radios you can buy, CD players. They have all kinds of things, coffee,
So you're
cups,
given
bowls.
money when you're in prison?
No,
No money.
You got to get
money,
money sent to
money
you.
in prison. It used to be stamps that they used to use, and then they stopped that. Federal and state are different. State gets a lot more than federal. Okay, they really do. State, New York State, I know they give you could have a TV in your cell. Okay, you could the people could order. You could send 35 pounds. I think it's 35 a month of food. All right, to the inmate, and that's in the state, not in the federal. The federal is really more strict. But the way you pay people is like, all right, I was fortunate that my commissary was flush every month. You know, I had the maximum amount of money I was allowed every month.
People on the outside will spend money to you.
Oh.
Yeah.
They put money in the account. You don't never touch physical money.
Okay.
Okay, you don't even see physical money.
Mm.
But like I would have a guy that would clean my sheets twice a week. Okay, I paid him with mackerel that I bought from. All right, from the commissary. All right, have another guy that cleaned this for me. Okay, pay him with mackerel or tuna fish. Okay, I was very careful with the tuna fish because that's what I ate almost every day in prison. I never ate in the mess hall. It's garbage food they feed you.
Oh, really? Like what? What is it? What
It's got
kind
no
of,
seasoning at all.
what is it, like spam or something? What kind of food is it?
I tell you, you could be sitting there eating chicken when a cockroach is going to walk over.
Oh,
Yeah, I've seen it a lot of times.
wow.
I got apple crisp one time in prison, right? I get my tray. I go to take a bite. I'm looking. There's a toenail in my apple crisp.
Oh,
Oh my fuck!
I'm like, I can't.
like, how did it even get there?
One of the inmates put it in there.
Put it in.
Yeah, they crush glass up and put it in their enemy's food. You have to be very careful where you get your food. I usually try to get a job in the kitchen so I can keep my eye on things like that I eat and things like that. They can poison you. They can say, hey, you want to go do some drugs? And they'll smoke some lace shit with you or something. They do it all the time to people.
You weren't allowed to have food in your cell?
No, only what you get at the commissary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so anything you buy, like soups, mackerel, all that stuff goes in your locker.
The mackerel that they serve, it was really freaking good. The one we bought, and you
What's
can't find. I looked for it on the outside. I can't find it.
What's
It's
mackerel?
fish. It's just
Oh,
fish.
mackerel.
Yeah,
Oh,
mackerel.
mackerel.
You know, it comes like in a pouch, like a mackerel
Yeah.
pouch. That's
Yeah.
what they sell you in the cell. You have mackerel pouches in your cell, and you have a bowl. You open it, you pour it in the bowl, and you eat it. That's it.
Katrina, something that most people don't know. Okay. In prison, the federal prison, especially, I don't know about the state. In the federal prison system, the commissary, everything we purchase from the commissary comes from a company owned by George W. Bush family.
O'Keefe.
Yeah. And guess what? When George Bush's daughter got married, that was a wedding gift he gave to her and her husband.
Mackerel?
No, the business. Okay. Okay. The charge that I ended up was a minimum mandatory sentencing, 924C gun charge. Because an informant said that he saw me give the gun to somebody else, which he never saw me. All right. And was it a real gun or a fake gun?
You never got caught with a gun, Ori?
They did not catch me with the gun. Okay. It was based upon an informant. So I ended up doing 5 years, minimum mandatory. I'm out of prison. One of my co-defendants was still in prison. And we were talking, and he says, hey, the Supreme Court, you can get rid of that charge. The Supreme Court found the 924C gun charge illegal and unconstitutional, and it's got to come off everybody's record. The prison started releasing people who were in prison for those who was taken off record. So I wrote my judge a letter. All right. I'm sitting in Beverly Hills. I write him a letter. I just heard about this. I like that off my record. I figure it's just a simple thing, right? I don't hear nothing for like a month. And I'm downstairs and getting my mail one day, and there's a FedEx from the U.S. Attorney out of Brooklyn, Elizabeth Geddes. I open it up. First page says, yes, Mr. Spado's charge should be dismissed according to the U.S. Supreme Court. I'm happier than hell. I get upstairs. There was 5 pages. I get to the 4th page, and it says, in the event that Mr. Spado's 924C gun charge is dismissed, we shall bring back charges 1 and 13 of the indictment. 1 was the RICO Act, 13 was the cocaine conspiracy. I said, what the fuck?
Man.
I said, the statute of limitations ran out 3 times on these charges. How could they do this? You know, you don't know what the freak they're going to do. They got laws and shit and things they try to do. And I wrote my letter, Judge, another letter. I said, hey, I wrote that without consulting with a lawyer. Next thing you know, he appoints a lawyer back east. Like, we got a court date. You got to be back here in court on February 4th. I said, look, let me tell you something. I said, I'm not coming back there in February. It's too freaking cold for me. And I'm not walking back in that goddamn courtroom because I know I walk in there, okay, they're going to cuff me and then put me downstairs and I'll be back at MDC again. No, that's not going to happen. We're going to do this. Then. I said, look, let's just forget it. I said, I don't give a shit. I'm 70-something years old. I'll live with it for the rest of my life. What's the big deal here? I started studying. And I found that where another state, they tried to do it and it got dismissed. They couldn't do what they were doing. But it's really total bullshit that the U.S. Attorney's Office, all right, is going to try to pull that kind of bullshit. So here I am still with this 924C. And in all honest opinion, it don't make a difference. Everything I do is legal. I'm not doing nothing illegal anymore. Okay? But why should I have that charge? And why should I not be allowed to have a gun? Okay, we live in a country with a lot of problems. All right, what amendment? The Second Amendment allows us to have a gun, but if you're a felon, you cannot have one. So you know what? I'm going to start making some noise on YouTube about this here. What do you think?
How long has it been since you've been released?
I got released in 2012. 12th, 13th.
Then you could probably put in for a pardon.
Ooh, to the president?
No, you put in for a pardon to expunge your record. It'll wipe your record clean, and then you'll be able to own a gun.
Once you're a felon, you're always a felon.
You can
If-
get your I know a person who got caught with a gun for robbery. He did time in prison, like 5 years, like you. He gets out, he starts a business, he's doing the right thing. He puts in for a pardon, he gets the pardon, he owns machine guns and everything now legally. So all you
Yeah.
have to do, you have to get reference letters. You have to show them that you're not that same person, and that's it. And they make the
I got to
decision.
call my lawyer out here. You know?
Ask them about it. It's 100% legit.
Yeah.
7 years, you have to be no trouble.
Okay, then I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is 2023. It's been 10 years. 10 years, 5 years. It's been 15 years.
So how's your life now?
My life is good. I'm very busy. I wrote a book. All right, The Accidental Gangster, from insurance salesman to Hollywood fixer. You know, a lot of people call me the real Ray Donovan.
I was thinking the same thing because you fixed Hollywood fixer just like Ray Donovan, yeah. And that's one of my favorite shows ever. So
Yeah. And it's being made into a major movie.
It is.
All
I
right.
heard about that. And
Written and directed.
Nick
written and
Pileggi
directed
is
by
doing
Nick
it,
Villalonga,
right?
right? You have Nick Villalonga on that?
Oh yeah, Nick's a producer on it.
He's a friend of mine.
Oh yeah, well tell him you know me now.
I will.
Yeah, Nick's a producer. George Gallo is writing and directing. He's almost finished with the script.
Oh.
George Gallo, you know, he did Midnight Run, Bad Boy. Him and Nick are like brothers. And we got Sean Robbins, who did
Nick
Mortal Kombat.
writing it all in that because he wrote Green Book?
Huh? Oh,
Is
Nick wrote Green Book. They won.
Yeah. So is he
3 Oscars.
collaborating with the writing, or he's
Won
just
3
producing
Oscars.
this?
Yeah.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
To
And
get
Nick
us a spot in
Pileggi
there,
is
Ori.
very. Look at you. Do some searching if you. I'm all over social media. You'll see pictures of me. I had Nick Pileggi, George Gallo, Nick Villalonga, my son, Frank Grillo. We all had dinner. Lunch here in Beverly Hills together.
Rest in peace to Nick's brother, right? Nick's brother passed away.
Yeah, that was awful.
Who?
I had just seen his
Nick's
brother and him at Mike Marino's comedy show. It was like 2 or 3 days before, and then I heard about that. That was awful.
Yeah, it was an accidental overdose. His brother passed away. Sending my prayers to the family.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
was
They were
very
working
sad.
on a lot of big projects at the time, and it put a halt to a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where is the film now? What's the status of it? Are you
Waiting for
casting?
George to finish the script.
Okay.
And then you'll be
Well,
casting people.
if there's a little part in there for me.
Yeah, let us know, Ori.
No.
Well, talk to your friend Nick.
All right. I will.
Well, Ori, you are great, man. You're always welcome back here. We got a lot of stories to get out there.
I'm excited to see what you guys do. It's always a pleasure, Bill. You know, I don't do a lot of this stuff and talk about all this wise guy stuff. You know, if you follow stories with Ori, I try to put positive stuff, information that can help people, help young people stay out of gang life or stay out of prison and, become entrepreneurs and find a passion or something they love doing.
You know what?
Those are the kind of things that I'm doing. I'm a very busy man, and I'm going to be 79, December 17th.
Wow, you look amazing. When you were in prison, you said that you read like over 300 books. What was the subject? What did you like to read?
I got into different authors when I was in Brooklyn. My friend Chris, I'm a co-defendant, he brings the book to me one day. He said, "You're gonna like this." He said, "That's not for me." It was written by Michael Connolly. It was called Echo Park. And I opened the book, and Harry Bosch, Los Angeles homicide detective. He's driving down La Cienega Boulevard, making a left on Melrose. I mean, this book brought me right back home to Los Angeles. I knew where he was. I knew the liquor store, the gym. I knew the flower shop, everything there, you know. So Michael Connolly became one of my best. I read all his books. Daniel De Silva, CIA thrillers. I still read those type of books, and they're still my best authors. There's an author out of England. What's his name? I forget right now. But I have about 4 or 5 authors, and I love reading. I still read. I've been reading all my life.
Well, I
Now,
appreciate
fix
you
it up.
taking the time. You guys are great.
All right, I
And
gotta get my daughter and her boyfriend and take them to breakfast.
all right, man.
All
Thank
right,
you,
Ori,
Ori.
take care.
Have a
thank you
great
Katrina.
so
day.
much. Thank you so much for
Look at
coming
Katrina.
on.
You come up. Bill's got my phone number.
Yes,
You come to here. We'll get together.
perfect.
All right.
Sounds
Take care.
Thanks,
great.
Ori. So that was our first guest. It was a complete disaster, but I mean,
No,
the feedback was a little bad. But
that's okay.
how do you think it went? Our
We'll
first
edit
episode.
it.
We got to keep
I
it
think that
interesting.
it was good. I mean, he's amazing.
He is.
He's really he's very interesting to listen to, and he's so kind. He seems so nice.
He is. He's
Um.
always been a great friend to me.
Oh
You know,
yeah, have you been have how long have you known him?
about 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been a good friend.
You know, people think only mafias in New York, New Jersey, but there's mafia everywhere. And there's mafia with different nationalities too, right? And
Yeah,
but they might not call it mafia because mafia is Italian. They call themselves mafia?
yeah. The Black Mafia family.
Oh,
It's BMF. They're
I
pretty
thought
big.
mafia could only be Italian.
Well, they call themselves the Mafia. So
Okay. What did
yeah,
he say the name of the Mexican mafia was?
the Serenos and the Norteños.
Wow.
He says it a little different, but that's the name. It's Sereno
I
and
had the whole
Norteño.
visual. I had the whole visual of the inside of the prison when this person that's not supposed to be there, walks in and stirs everything up.
But I appreciate you
I am
taking the
so
time.
looking forward to all of this. And this was really great. I think this is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be different. I'm
Yeah.
working on some things today, and we'll get this out here. I
And
hope
I'm
you
looking
guys.
forward to learning things.
Yeah,
I
this.
I I know bits and pieces of this world, but I think coming in as just kind of somebody that just sees things on TV or whatever, it's not always like it is on TV and film, right?
Yeah, you get to hear it from the people that were
From the
there.
right. Wow.
Yeah, but
I
yeah,
never knew that you couldn't have food in your cell.
yeah. No, you can have
Wine.
food, but it has to be from the commissary.
You couldn't have outside food.
Yeah, like
Even if
say
you
you
even if
say you.
somebody sent it, like, how do
No,
you
you.
eat it if how do you eat it if somebody sent you food?
It's not the way you think. Like they don't take a burger and put it in an envelope and send it to you. It's not like that. It's like sealed coffee. We'll say that, right? Or we'll say a bag of potato chips.
Yeah.
You buy potato chips off commissary. They come
Mm,
to you once a week. You grab all this stuff, it's in a bag, you bring it to your cell, you put it all in your locker. It's like snacks, like nutty bars and dumb shit, like stupid little things like that.
Yeah.
It's not no crazy meal. Tuna, little pouches of tuna, maybe a bag of pickle, a pickle in a bag, mackerel, things like that. Soups are the biggest commodity in prison.
In a pouch.
You know what oodles and noodles is? The little soups, the square ones?
Mm.
Those are the biggest commodity in prison. That's what everybody eats. They make like these spreads out of those. And they put a bunch of different ingredients in it. They cook it in a bag inside the rec room, and they divvy it up into bowls, and then everybody eats. But everybody doesn't eat, because if you're not in with these people who are eating, you sit in the corner and starve.
Maybe this should be an episode on Chopped. Like, what could you do with prison food?
You would be surprised.
You have a bowl of oodles and noodles, nutty bars, and potato chips. Make a meal.
Yeah, that's like it is in prison. It's exactly like that. But we're gonna get into more next time. Maybe I'll show you how to make a stinger. Like you put a nail clipper and an extension cord. You put it together a certain way, and you drop it in water, and it will boil the water. It's pretty wild shit.
And why do boil water so you make coffee or tea?
Yeah, so you can cook with it.
Wow.
It is wild. I'll show you. I'll show you how all that's done.
Wait, a nail clipper and what? And
a nail clipper and an extension cord.
Yeah, but how do you get an extension cord? I thought those things weren't allowed.
Buy it off a commissary.
You're allowed to have that? Don't people like
certain people maybe do, but I mean they have different electronic items you can buy, so they sell extension cords too.
Wow.
They're just a little extension cord with a little thing on the end. You break apart the nail clipper. You stick one end in the outlet part. You stick the other end in the other outlet part, and then you wrap it up a certain way. And you drop it in a bucket of water, put salt in it, and it will boil the water. It's called a stinger. It's pretty wild.
That's really wild.
So thank you so much for joining me. This has been great, and hopefully next week we don't have any feedback. But shout out to Ori. Go check out his book.
We want feedback from our audience. That's the only feedback we want.
That's right. We only want feedback from the audience. Thank you so much, Katrina. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much, Bill. This has been amazing.
You have a great week, Katrina, and I will see you back here on Monday.
Next Monday.
Peace.
Thanks, Bill.